Okay, this is us going into Liberty Park. Two people got our attention though, and these are two homeless people that had set up a shelter over by the bathrooms. And there was what I thought was a father and son. Turns out it was not his son, it was actually his girlfriend. Felt bad about that, apologized to the girl. Man, she couldn't have been, I mean, she looked like she was like, 13 or 14 years old out there in this park with this older man. And so anyways, I apologized. I looked at her hands. She had drug track marks going up and down her hands, big kind of open sores on her hands. She was quite skittish, appeared to be quite high. Told them that we were chatting with people about the supernatural and having conversations. She said she knew a thing or two about the supernatural, and she shared about her upbringing, about living basically in a haunted house where her toys would fly around her room. She lived underneath the spirit of fear as a child. She talked about living out in the streets, talked about these demon dogs that would come out at night on the railroad tracks in Renton, like hellhound type creatures, these long kind of skinny, large demon dogs that would come out at night with like bright glowing eyes. I asked her if she'd ever experienced any positive supernatural experiences like angels, or if she's ever Jesus or heaven, anything like that. She said she never experienced anything like that. Share with her about grace, about Jesus, about heaven, about the love of God. And she let me pray for her, and she described feeling like a positive energy, peace, filling her heart. Told her that was the presence of Jesus. And she wanted to receive Jesus, and she prayed the sinner's prayer, asked that Jesus would forgive her of all of her sins, declared that she believes that Jesus is the Son of God. It was awesome. And when we were done, I looked at her, and her eyes looked like yellow, like dark yellow, almost like kind of like snake eyes. And she breathed, and I could tell that there was a spirit looking at me. And I basically asked her about it. So you have like a spirit in you, and is that true? She said yes. She hears its voice. I asked her when that spirit came into her. She said after she had played the game. And I said, what game was it? And she said it was the Ouija board. And so she agreed to repent and to renounce the power of that spirit board. We just did it by faith. There was no manifestation, like demonic manifestations, anything like that. She prayed the prayer of faith, and there was a noticeable difference in her countenance and her focus. She seemed to have like sobered up. She wasn't fidgety. She had, and at the very end, she actually kind of smiled. Gave her a big hug. I asked her what her name was. She said her name was Charis, which is actually the Greek word for grace. I asked her if she knew what her name meant, and she said that she was told that her name meant love, prosperity, and peace. And I said, isn't that amazing that the enemy has done his best to attack this part of your identity, but Jesus has come to you today that you would have love, prosperity, and peace. Please pray for Charis, believing for her full restoration.